2021 go?
Oh my God, it was 30 days of it, right?
Can we start 2021 over again?
I swear to gosh, once you have an insurrection and a riot on your capital, time just flies. Well, it just flies.
It's Black History Month now.
That's right. We're getting ready to start. Y'all are going to talk about your black, gay, LGBT icon?
I have some of mine, for sure.
Well, we're going to talk about a few of them tonight.
Let's do it. It's Monday.
And Faye, we're counting down to your new travel show. You must be excited.
I'm so excited. It's time to travel.
Hopkins. It is.
I miss it.
Something positive. 3, 2. Well, welcome to Queer News Tonight, the world's first and only LGBTQ daily evening news. It's time to queer up the news. It is 7 p.m. Monday, February 1st, and we are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. So many of your important stories we're going to tell this evening on Queer News Tonight.
The world's first live daily queer evening news show. Out of the closet and into the headlines on Q News Tonight.
Well, thank you for joining Queer News Tonight. This is a live, unedited LGBTQ evening news show. So whatever happens, you're going to see it. This evening, we bring you the news of and a perspective representing the LGBTQ community from South Florida, America, and across our world. I'm your Queer News Tonight anchor, Al Ferguson, and tonight, let's welcome anchor Faye What? She's out, she's proud, and above all else, she's most certainly loud. She's a Latina to be reckoned with, half Puerto Rican, half Colombian, 100% freaking Jersey. She's a radio personality and has the popular blog and YouTube channel aiming to unite the L and the G in LGBTQ called Faye What. She's a hostess and MC for many South Florida events, a board member of Unity Coalition, and also an animal advocate dedicating to providing excellent service to your pets as the owner of Faye's Fur Family. And if that's not enough, she is the new host of Happening Out Travel's new travel show. Good evening, Faye.
Good evening. Hello, hello. Hola, mi gente. It's 2/1/21. Woohoo!
February 1. Next, let's welcome anchor Kal Gajraj. He is an award-winning international marketing and public relations consultant, helping both nonprofit and for-profit organizations with multifaceted executive management in branding, publicity, and fundraising, including local and global initiatives. His expertise is in growing a brand, creating an e-commerce consumer journey, and launching innovative projects that boost efficiency, expand productivity, and increase revenue growth. Good evening, Kal.
Good evening.
Well, this is going to be a great first launch of February, because tonight we begin with queer headlines. The LGBTQ community in South Florida and across America is diverse. Our community across the world is vast, and here are the bullet points of the queer news for today, Monday, February 1st. We begin by queering up breaking Q news. February is Black History Month, so let's celebrate LGBTQ African American icons. Today begins a month-long celebration of Black history. At Queer News Tonight, we will celebrate in many different ways throughout the entire month. Today, we tell you about the icons in and to the LGBTQ community. In politics, we celebrate Barbara Jordan. Watch this.
First, we believe in equality for all and privileges for none. This is a belief that each American, regardless of background, has equal standing in the public forum, all of us.
As a young man in elementary school, that was a mesmerizing moment for me. She was the first Black woman elected to Congress from the South, the first to deliver the keynote address at a National Party convention that you just saw, and a personal hero to me.
In entertainment, we celebrate RuPaul. The media queen has made being a drag queen into something else. Books, television shows, the longest string of Emmy wins for a show, and the host of anyone in history, and no signs of slowing down.
In the civil rights movement, we celebrate Bayard Rustin. On the eve of the 1963 Civil Rights March, Bayard Rustin served a role vital to Martin Luther King and the entire LGBTQ community.
In professional sports, we celebrate Glenn Burke, the first and only openly gay player in Major League Baseball, a pioneer 30 years after Jackie Robinson broke the league's color barrier.
In the world of dance, we celebrate Alvin Ailey, considered one of the greatest dancers in history. He is the founder of the world-famous Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater.
In music, we celebrate Johnny Mathis. A crooner adored by the women for his sultry sound, was introduced into both Grammy Hall of Fame and Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences Lifetime Achievement.
This is just a small sample of the great Black LGBTQ icons Queer News Tonight will celebrate throughout February, and we encourage you to read more about each of these icons.
So two of my favorites that I had to bring up was Gladys Bentley. She was this amazing performer back in the 20s and so before her time. And Stormy DeLavaria, she was this butch lesbian that was just biracial, and she represented so much. And another one that was just a trailblazer. Thank you for all you guys did in Black American queer history.
This is fantastic because I've done a lot of work in the performing arts industry, and I have an adoration for Alvin Ailey and for what he's done for the Black and brown communities and giving dancers an opportunity and giving them a platform that they wouldn't normally have.
Well, and I indicated right at the top, Barbara Jordan is an icon for me. When I watched her deliver that speech at the Democratic National Convention, her cadence, the speech cadence that she delivered was mesmerizing to me. I had never seen a Black woman deliver in the way that she did, and I never quite imagined a icon who would go on to be an LGBTQ icon. I didn't even know what that was when I watched her, what she would become, because of the power and the force to command attention of the crowd was just amazing. Well, next we're going to queer up business. Chipotle, Papa John's, and 60 other corporations that improved their LGBTQ policies in 2020. The Human Rights Campaign this week released its 19th Corporate Equality Index, which closely examines the LGBTQ plus policies of thousands of American corporations, including most of the Fortune 500. Even with the tumultuous 2020, from the COVID-19 pandemic to social unrest, to a president who, by the way, refused to concede an election and incited an insurrection, corporate America trended toward more inclusivity, with 60 corporations that previously appeared on the CEI receiving perfect scores for the first time. In total, 767 businesses met all the criteria to earn a 100% rating and the designation of being a, quote, best place to work for LGBTQ equality, end quote, including several that participated in the CEI for the first time ever. The HRC rankings are based on workplace protections to prohibit discrimination, whether they offer inclusive medical benefits and cultural and corporate responsibilities, specifically in diversity training. It is widely believed that the HRC rating system has had among the most significant impacts on American attitudes toward the LGBTQ community over the last 20 years.
So let's talk about these companies that are treating our people right. These people are treating LGBTQ plus employees correctly. So let's support them, LGBTQ world, family. And I do Bank of America, that's my bank. Chipotle, that's my Taco Tuesday. You should be doing the same. Keurig, that's my cafecito in the morning. All right, Mars. I eat too much chocolate. It is what it is. Instacart, who wants to do their own shopping, make sure that you support these companies because they support us.
And it's really comforting to see that, you know, for me, I've worked in corporate America since I was 18. So it's nice to see these organizations that are making it easier and more comfortable for the LGBTQ youth to grow into these organizations and to grow up into these corporate roles.
You know, and today on February 1, I really love this HRC story about the growth in corporate America, doing even better, best places to work in LGBT America. And I think the underlying point of this story is when you have crazy congressmen and women like Green, the QAnon leader from Georgia, they cannot influence in the go forward the voice of America like corporations that embrace equality. So sooner or later, they're chipping away and chipping away and chipping away, and 60 more major corporations are saying LGBT is important, and that is how you change minds and attitudes. Congratulations. And it's all marked through the ARC report.
Next, we queer up entertainment. Stanley Tucci on straight actors playing gay. Watch this.
Having played a number of gay characters, you know, you want to do it so that it's, as you do with any character, you just want to be truthful to it.
It's been muted, but there has been criticism from some quarters saying that gay roles should be played by gay actors. What do you make of that?
I have difficulty with that. I think that acting is all about not being yourself. If we were to use that as a template, then we would only ever play ourselves. I think what we need to do, we need to give more gay actors opportunities. People who are gay have only recently, in the last few years really, have been able to say, I'm gay and I'm an actor. And I can play straight roles and I can play, but they always had to hide their sexuality so that they could play the leading man or the leading woman.
The actor has played gay characters in a number of high-profile films, including The Devil Wears Prada and Burlesque, and is now making news for his comments on straight men playing gay roles. His new role in Supernova is just the latest groundbreaking role. He plays a gay man living with dementia in his latest film, Supernova, where he stars opposite Colin Firth. When asked about the ongoing debate around whether straight actors should play gay characters on CBS Sunday Morning, Tucci said he has, quote, difficulty with the idea that gay roles should be exclusively played by queer actors. Tucci, who is married to Felicity Blunt, sister to actress Emily Blunt.
I think he was spot on when he talked about, you know, it's inspiring for up-and-coming LGBTQ youth who want to become actors. It makes it characters that Stanley Tucci has played has made it comfortable for us to want to become an actor and want to be able to portray these roles. So I agree with him when he says that, you know, it's opening that door for them.
You know, I consider myself in the advocacy column, obviously, in our community, and I'm really torn here because I want to agree with Stanley Tucci, but I don't completely. But I'm torn. Stanley Tucci's portrayal in Burlesque and Devil Wears Prada was iconic. It's hard to imagine to find the gay counterpart with the acting chops and experience that Tucci brought to the role before he even appeared on film, and then what he did afterwards. So as a result, he improved all of our lives in his representation of his character that someone else might not have been able to do. But I'm also torn from the standpoint of when does it become right and when does it become wrong? And it's, if for nothing else, the conversation of Supernova and Colin Firth and Stanley Tucci's roles together, I've seen it now. It's really incredible. And it makes you wonder, well, could this be played by gay actors to the same level of the quality of those two actors? I'm really torn.
You know, and Stanley Tucci is such a great actor, but just like you said, Al, like, could somebody else come in and play that role as well as him in Devil Wears Prada? So I'm kind of on the fence as well. Like, would I be feeling the same way if more queer actors were getting jobs? You know, maybe I wouldn't. I love what he said, and it made such a stern point. Acting is about playing somebody that you're not. Yeah. It's not about playing who you are. So, you know, I loved his interview, and I think that he took a fantastic stance on it.
Next, let's continue with queering up entertainment. John Krasinski kisses Pete Davidson because he has to give the fans what they want.
Oh my. Look at that thing.
Hosting the first episode of Saturday Night Live this year of 2021, actor John Krasinski tried to bask in the moment of appearing on the famed comedy skit show. But the Office alum got instead was bombardment of questions and reminders about his character Jim Halpert from the hit sitcom. Krasinski has also starred in horror, romance, and military films such as A Quiet Place, It's Complicated, 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi, and has earned a Screen Actors Guild Award nomination for his role in the thriller television series Jack Ryan. But he can't escape his famed turn as Dunder Mifflin sales rep for 8 years. As he took to the stage to deliver his monologue, quote, audience members, aka SNL cast members Kenan Thompson, Alex Moffat, and Ego Nwamden interrupted to make the Office-related remarks to the host. SNL star Pete Davidson comes out, who is confused for Pam from The Office, with the crowd and host demanding Pam kiss. So Krasinski and Pete Davidson kiss. The crowd and the internet goes wild.
I watched this live Saturday on Saturday Night Live, and the picture is more titillating than it was when I watched it, because when I watched it, it looked awkward to me. Pete Davidson is really, really, really good.
Yeah.
Really good. I'm just saying, he's really, really good.
I have to go watch it then, okay? Because by this picture, it looks like they're really into it. And it's not the first time either one has killed another male. I mean, has kissed another male. So does this go under the umbrella of gay for pay? No, maybe
Yeah,
a little.
They got paid.
For that, yeah.
And I thought that maybe Peterson thought that he was still kissing Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
Pobrecito.
Yeah, no, I watched it Saturday
really,
as well.
it's a little soon to tear that wound open. A little soon. All right. Next, we're going to queer up our gay sex lives. SKYN Condoms has released over the weekend this new sexy queer new ad featuring Peaches. If you love childhood tunes turned adult, SKYN, the condom brand, has a new one for you. After John Duff turned the hokey pokey into a track about rimming, SKYN has brought on Peaches to turn, quote, head, shoulders, knees, and toes into something a little more, well, nighttime appropriate. While the lyrics themselves don't get too crazy, there is a head, fingers, hips, and those line. The video commercial injects the sexiness into the project. Directed by Matt Lambert with Rena Yang as cinematographer, it features couples with knees, toes, and other limbs intertwining with one another. The campaign is titled Pleasure is an Endless Exploration. And Lambert says, quote, much of my work over the years has focused on authentic representations of queer intimacy, love, and sex. It was so exciting to be able to bring these worlds and experiences of directing countless intimacy sex scenes to a mainstream commercial space, end quote. According to him, the cast is the most non-het cis cast a SKYN campaign has ever had. And the couples featured in the spot are actual real-life couples.
Thank you for sending me this video. I had it like on a loop today after I got it. Pleasure is an endless exploration. That was the heading, and I just love the video. I mean, it is sexy, but not raunchy. Does that make any sense? Like, it's so very sexy. And yeah, literally using fingers, toes, arms, and everything else in it. I love the commercial.
Yeah, it's absolutely. It's very artsy, and I think that's what appeals to a lot of people, because it's not necessarily, you know, with the sexiness, it's not too over the top, but it just shows you just enough.
You know, what I love about it is Lambert has been able to capture that sex is not a taboo subject, and so can create it in a way to provide enough titillation to make it enjoyable for especially the gay community, LGBTQ community, but make it safe for everyone else. And the proof of that is it's running on FX, it's running on USA, it's running on AMC, so it's in wide distribution, and that just makes LGBT partnership more accessible to the entire broader community.
When I saw the commercial, I'm like, whatever they're selling, I'm buying. And I have no need for those, but I'm going to buy some anyway. Next, we queer up the world. Polish town becomes first to rescind the LGBT-free zone, claiming it was, quote, misunderstood. The Polish town of Nowa has rescinded its previous declaration against LGBT ideology. Nowa, a town in the southeastern part of Poland, has removed the resolution that set it up as an, quote, LGBT-free zone, after claiming the resolution had been, quote, misunderstood and, quote, exploited to harm the town's image. Parts of Poland have been declaring themselves an LGBT-free zone free from LGBT ideology. Local authorities are refraining from actions that could be seen as tolerant of the LGBTQ plus community and are working to prevent financial aid for non-governmental organizations helping to promote equal rights. A conservative newspaper also printed LGBT-free zone stickers for readers to publicly display in their homes. Nowa was one of those towns, and as such, it lost access to certain EU funding when they adopt resolutions against these LGBT-free zones. The town also lost its twin status with the town of Fermoy in Ireland. At the time, the mayor of Nowa, Wisław Odin, claimed the criticism were, quote, fake news and that the declaration had no actual legal effect. At the time, he claimed that the town would, quote, continue to undertake measures to prevent any behavioral discriminating against any minority, including LGBT people. Seemingly in a response, Nowa has now become the first town to withdraw from this anti-LGBTQ plus declaration, voting in favor this week.
Well, my thing is, if you don't like gay sex, don't have it. so putting up stickers that it's a, you know, gay-free zone, I find the entire thing very comedic.
You know, the underlying message here is protest work. Money and withholding money works. We've reported at Queer News tonight that the president of the European Union says this is can't stand. These cities and Poland in general are not following EU guidelines on equality, and how they'll be punished is withdraw their money. The twinning of the Irish city has a financial effect on this town in Poland. So the proof here is, well, this is who we are, because this is who they are, but you can't publicly do it because it's going to cost you money. And when it comes down to who they are or the acceptance of their money, they chose their money. So therefore, protest works.
You know, Nowa, thank you for rescinding that. But scary times, how about all the people that you put in jeopardy during that LGBT-free zone time? You know, the people that could have incited the violence against our community. I don't know, too little, too late. I personally think, fine, I'm glad that you rescinded. Get the rest of your peeps to also do the same.
Peeps.
And now it's time to queer up travel. Africa to get its first exclusively LGBTQ cruise in 2022. A travel company based in South Africa is organizing what Queer News Tonight believes will be the continent's first exclusive LGBTQ cruise, organized by AfriGay Travel. The 3-night cruise will launch on March 11th, 2022. It will set sail from Durban in South Africa and travel to Portuguese island in neighboring Mozambique. The so-called The Virgin Voyage will take place aboard the MSC Musica, which has approximately 1,268 passenger cabins and can accommodate 2,550 passengers. The cruise will feature parties, drag shows, and local celebrities, including TV presenter Sade Giliberti, singer Martin Bester, DJ Buji Bikwa, Liboy Molax, and performers Boys in Heels. South Africa is widely regarded as the most gay-friendly country on the continent of Africa, with an equal age of consent and recognition of same-sex marriage. Mozambique legalized same-sex sexual activity in 2015. AfriGay Travel's founder, Michael Gladwin, said, quote, "The gay cruise concept is a hit in North America and Europe, with the very popular Atlantis and Vakaya cruises taking place regularly. We want to bring it to Africa. After all, South Africa has one of the most liberal constitutions in the world with regard to LGBTQ rights. We are very excited to work with MSC as we create an event at sea that celebrates our LGBTQ plus community," end quote. AfriGay Travel offers individual and group tours specific to the LGBTQ plus market, inbound to Southern Africa for travelers from around the world, outbound for the world for South African travelers, and domestic tours for South Africans who want to travel within South Africa. Travel is on the verge of re-emerging for the LGBTQ community. Happening Out Television Network is adding a new weekly show called Happening Out Travel, and will be hosted by Q, Faye What, and David Hopkins. The show will bring you the best of news, specials for LGBTQ travelers, and more. Stay tuned, and congratulations, Afro-Gay, and all of our LGBTQ community in South Africa.
Well, as viewers know, I have a little experience in this area, including complete cruise ship charters, having operated charters and cruises, LGBT cruises, especially in the drag market for RuPaul, all over the world. My general observation is congratulations to Afro-Gay. 2022 being the first, it's a shame to me that we're saying this is historic because it's the first time ever. The continent deserves the cruise. It requires leadership that we're seeing from Afro-Gay. When I read the news, I thought, it's something that Atlantis has made the decision to do. So you're in that category. And once you're in a club, you never go back. Congratulations. And I'm sure it's going to be an exciting event.
This is so exciting, and South Africa is the most gay-friendly place in Africa, so how perfect is that? And I love Sade and Boys in Heels. I'm so excited. This means that more to come. You know, it's time for us to travel again, LGBTQ community. Things are safe. We're going to be okay. Get your vaccination, wash your hands, wash your ass. Let's start traveling.
I miss traveling a lot, and I can't wait for this cruise to happen. I wanted to go on the Cuba trip that you had, Al, before, so hopefully I'll be able to go on this one.
Yeah, good. All right, well, that is our queer headlines for today. Let's catch up on the LGBTQ news surrounding COVID-19 with our special segment called Quarantine Quickies. Tonight, we continue to report on the devastating effect that coronavirus is having on the American and worldwide LGBTQ community in the total number of cases and deaths, specifically in our community. And we do that by queering up Quarantine Quickies. That hurricane is coming. Experts warn U.S. to brace for a very violent COVID strain. Watch this.
Well, first of all, let me just say that I have been one of those saying that we need to make sure that we have both first and second doses and follow the FDA approval process. But let me say right now, we do have to call an audible. I think it's no doubt about it. The fact is that the surge that is likely to occur with this new variant from England is going to happen in the next 6 to 14 weeks. And if we see that happen, which my 45 years in the trenches tell us we will, we are going to see something like we have not seen yet in this country. England, for example, is hospitalizing twice as many people as we ever hospitalized at our highest number. And so we do know that if we look at these first doses, that in fact we can even get higher numbers than you just laid out by the time of the third week after vaccination. So we still want to get 2 doses in everyone, but I think right now in advance of this surge, we need to get as many 1 doses in as many people over 65 as we possibly can to reduce the serious illness and deaths that are going to occur over the weeks ahead.
Well, that leading infectious disease expert predicted on Sunday that the deadlier British variant of COVID-19 will become the dominant strain of the virus in the United States and could hit the country like what he said was a hurricane. Epidemiologist Michael Osterholm, who served on Joe Biden's transition coronavirus advisory board after the Democratic victory in 2020 election, and is now the director of the Center for Infectious Disease Research and Policy at the University of Minnesota, warned America to brace for the spread of this new strain this spring. He said, quote, "The surge is likely to occur with this new variant from England, and it is going to happen in the next 6 to 14 weeks. That hurricane is coming," end quote. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has warned that the new UK variant may be 30% more deadly than the original virus.
Some scary stuff. And I know that a lot of us have COVID fatigue, right? Like we're sick of seeing all these facts and we're thinking that the vaccines are here and we're fine. We're not. The next couple of months they're going to be scary if we don't do what we have to do. So double mask if you have to. Make sure that you're elderly, get vaccinated. It's important. A lot more vaccines are going to come our way. Do not worry, just get patient. But it definitely is going to be some scary times the next couple of months.
And it seems as though everyone has gotten a little bit more comfortable. People are going out, people are just being, entertaining, they're doing all these things, but the virus is very real and the pandemic is very real. So it's, I think we should just be very vigilant and, like Faye says, wash your ass.
Yeah, exactly. We reported last week on Q that the CDC expects a dramatic increase of vaccine distribution by March. The president and the new administration on January 20th inherited a system that they thought was in better shape than it was. So the pressure, at least from my voice, is not going on to the administration in their response so far, because they've inherited what they've inherited. I'm really comfortable in terms of what I'm seeing in the organizational structure, and it is going to get better, but it depends on all of us being responsible in the way that we need to be responsible today. That is our COVID-19 news for tonight. Next, we report that Happening Out Television Network helps support our LGBTQ community. An example is right here at Sunshine Cathedral. This is the world's largest queer church here in Fort Lauderdale. We are broadcasting from our permanent set in supporting that partnership. The network broadcasts the largest LGBTQ religious broadcast in the entire world, with more than 30,000 watching every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, and it's totally live. We encourage you to tune in. Our campaign of sponsorship proudly supports Sunshine Cathedral is my queer church. Watch this.
Hi, I'm Dr. Stephen Evans. I am the editor-in-chief and publisher of Outclick magazine, and Sunshine Cathedral is my queer church.
We'd also like to thank our set designer, Concepto Modern Living, here in Fort Lauderdale, for making this set in this amazing queer church campus possible.
Finally, we thank Queer News Tonight's hotel sponsor, Best Western I-95 Fort Lauderdale. This is the closest and best choice to the famous Wilton Drive, and our hosts and guests stay at this LGBTQ ally partner. We encourage you to stay here when visiting South Florida.
Well, Queer News Tonight is proud to support our local South Florida 501c3 nonprofit organizations and charities. And tonight we are pleased to feature Aqua Foundation for Women. Aqua Foundation for Women's mission is to serve and support the lesbian, bisexual, and transgender community in South Florida through grants, scholarships, and initiatives. Their newest initiative is called Aqua Cares, through creating and sustaining powerful friendships that require us to be present and show up fully for the greater whole. Leading Aqua Foundation for Women is Executive Director Grace C. Lopez. She was the first Hispanic president of the Susan G. Komen for the Cure of Miami Fort Lauderdale, and is now the Chief Executive Officer and founder of the proprietary consulting agency I Manage Law Firms, advising law firms on their best practices for their own operations. To tell us more about Aqua Foundation for Women, Aqua Cares, and her upcoming projects for the future, but before we introduce her, watch this.
The advice I would give to an incoming scholarship recipient is really to just take the time at the beginning of the program to sit down with your mentor and set goals for what you want to achieve throughout the year. This is a really, really powerful group of women, and I think that they are able to accomplish so much, and we have been able to accomplish so much, and setting those goals is going to help you to get the most out of the program that you can.
I hope that the next generation realizes how important, or how the scholarship is as much a make of it with your mentor and the leadership that is involved with it. That would be my advice. Have fun. Do what you need to do, and know that Aqua has your back.
To me, Aqua really means community. It means coming together to work towards a common goal, and mostly it means supporting LGBTQ women like me.
Joining us now from the Aqua Foundation is their Executive Director, Grace C. Lopez. Welcome, Grace, to Queer News Tonight.
Thank you so much, Hal. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be in your show. This is, I'm a fan. I love everything that you've done. I think this is so important to bring all the news to the community. So I applaud your entire team for this.
Well, we greatly appreciate that. Let's start with Aqua broadly, its mission and what it does in the LGBTQ community. Let's start there.
Sure. So Aqua Foundation for Women was founded in 2004. And it was founded because these special women in our community decided to get serious about the nonprofit world. We used to be known as the Aqua Girl Group. We started with parties, and then we decided to get serious about the work and do some grants and give some scholarships and start the foundation. So in 2004, it was founded, and then from there on, it took off in 2007, having scholarships and a mentoring program, which has turned out to be incredibly successful. We have given out more than $500,000 to this community, to future leaders of our LGBTQ community, and we're very proud of them. And you just saw two of them speak about the Aqua Foundation Scholarship and Mentor Program. We also started in 2009 doing a TransCon conference, a 2-3-day conference led by the trans community. And that was also very successful, but we didn't stop there. We also, in 2013, we started granting money, and the first grant that we granted was for $100,000 to the homeless youth program. So we've done many, many things that most people know us for, the Aqua Girls, party girls and such, and that's not all the case. We do so much more. There is a serious foundation behind all the parties and that you have seen throughout the years. And we're very serious about giving back to this community. And we also have an Emerging Leaders Conference that we offer for our students, for our scholars, for our mentors, for members of this community, so we can bring speakers from outside to speak about leadership and how they can empower themselves to be leaders in the LGBT community. Very exciting about that. We also have some...
I want to ask you real quick, in terms of leading up to that point, how does Aqua Foundation raise the funds to support these kind of programs? Is it through the social party events, or do you make contributions to Aqua, or exactly how do you raise your funds?
So all of the above, Al. When we started the Aqua Foundation for Women, Aqua Girl provided all the funds. It was our biggest fundraiser that we had. As Aqua Girl got a little bit larger and it was very expensive to put on, these events at the beach and hire an outsourcing company to take care of it. It got so expensive that the return of investment was not, as much. So we started getting grants. We started donations, our donors, our friends, our family, people like yourselves, to promote us, to empower us. So 2020 was really hard, though. We were not able to do the funding that we were normally are used to doing. So it comes from all over, from grants.
And to that point, I want to zero in. I'm very passionate. We all are very passionate at Queer News Tonight about COVID's effect on organizations like yours, 501c3s that are community-based. They serve our community. I imagine the effect of COVID-19 on Aqua, the Aqua Foundation in 2020, and still to this day, has been pretty significant.
Very significant. It's hurt us tremendously, mainly because most of our grants were cutting in half. If not, they were not given to us, even if we had contracts with the organizations. Our scholarship program was cut. Community supporters, shifted, for housing and immediate needs. So we were not giving the funding that we were normally given. Also, with an election year, a lot of the funding went to the organizations that were promoting the candidates that we needed to have in office to support the LGBT community. So we lost that funding as well. So we had to work really, really hard, and it was difficult. And we lost a lot of funding.
What
Can
are
I chime
what are
in
the
now?
signs for you for 2021? I'm sorry, Faye.
No, please.
What are the signs for you? Are you seeing a light at the end of the tunnel yet?
You know, Al, and I stay so positive. I'm what they call the ultimate optimist, and I always see light. I always see, you know, a possibility, an opportunity, and I'm hopeful that our community and opportunities like this that you're giving to us to showcase our work and what we do when we are out there, people learn that we're not just an organization behind the scenes, and that's one of the reasons we created Aqua Cares, to stay connected with the community and also visible. So we're very, very hopeful. I'm not going to stop requesting for grants. I'm not going to stop asking people for money to go into our website and donate. You know, these are trying times for everyone, you know, and what we want to do, the money that we receive, it goes back to the community. I sell 50% salary cut to help the Aqua Foundation. And I'm very proud of, you know, doing that, because I look at it as me also helping, you know, leadership starts from the top, right? Lead by example. So I decided to help the foundation in that respect. So I remain hopeful, and I remain very strong with a very strong vision that Aqua will overcome this and do greater things.
Grace, that's very inspiring, and I know you've heard this repeatedly, but thank you for your step up personally in the face of COVID, of how it has affected you personally, and you continuing your mission by giving even more to Aqua. That is very inspiring. Before we move on to another foundation, 501c that I want to talk about, how do people reach out to Aqua? How do you like them to communicate to you? How do they find out about you?
They can reach out to me directly at grace@aquafoundation.org, or they can go online to aquafoundation.org and look at our website. And look what we have done, our history, and I hope you get involved and volunteer and support us and be a part of Aqua Cares. We're also featuring people in Aqua Cares. You know, we have wellness program. We also promote the LGBTQ businesses, artistic talent. We want to stay connected with the community, and it's been very, very difficult not having a virtual platform. We're trying to do the best that we can through Zoom.
Yeah, and one of my partners in crime is Anchor Faye Watt, and I don't know if you've heard this, but she's a lesbian.
I am.
She's a lesbian,
Oh,
and she talks about Aqua all of the time. So if I do not let her in here, I'm in big, big trouble.
seriously, like, I love Grace. Slight crush. Please don't tell my wife. So, I mean, you know, what Aqua does, like, I was that little diaper D that was in the pool naked, and now I'm the person that volunteers at TransCon. You know what I mean? So it's like adulting. And why I did that was because I saw some of the scholarship recipients, and these were incredible women that did some incredible things with the money that they were given. Grace, you're amazing. What you do for our lesbian community, thank you. What you do for LGBTQ in general, thank you. But something close to my heart, I've got to ask Miss Grace about, because you guys know that I'm a pet advocate, and I also, you know, rescue and take care of dogs all the time at Face Fur Family. So got to ask you, Grace, I know that you are in and starting a new venture. I don't know in what time you've got to do so, but it includes Paws, and I'm all about it. Can you tell us a little bit about Women for Paws?
Yes, of course. Faye, it's so wonderful to see you. I'm also a fan of yours. I remember when I first met you at Gay 8, I was like, Faye, what? Like, okay, you're Faye. Faye, what? And you're like, Faye, what? And I'm like, okay, it stays as such. It was very comical. But I'm also a fan of yours, so thank you so much. So Women for Paws is, I founded Women for Paws in 2010, but I never had the opportunity to really had the courage to do a website and start promoting it. It is a nonprofit organization. These two dogs that you see here featured, Hannah and Brooklyn, they were both rescue dogs that I found homes to. Brooklyn happened to be the love of my life, my little puppy that passed away in 2017, but they were both rescues. And my mission and my passion is to provide financial support to individuals that cannot support their animals and feel that they need to give up their animals to shelters. And I would like to provide financial support for them so they don't have to do that. So Women for Paws' mission is to make sure that it takes care of the people that are going through financial hardship or medical treatment. When I was at the Susan G. Komen for the Cure, I saw many, many women with breast cancer treatments that had to give up their pets because they couldn't take care of them because they were going through a long-term treatment. I don't want those pets, your family pet, to end up in shelters. I want to provide financial support for you to keep them or to find homes to shelter them until the individual gets better. That is my passion.
Excellent. Well, and next time we have you on, Grace, I'll let you and Faye just have your own little private conversation.
We can
and
snuggle.
I'm not necessary here in between the two of you. This is just our first conversation with Aqua. This is the first time with Grace that we've had on Queer News Tonight. I'm very passionate in terms of Aqua Foundation and the girls community broadly of talking about the boys community in conjunction with it. I'm really passionate on how we can bring the L and the G closer together and being more supportive of each other. So Grace, we're going to have you back for sure to talk about your projects and how we can do that. We thank you very much for being with us. Tell us one more time in terms of contacting the Aqua Foundation, how to contact you and the Aqua Foundation.
Yes, it's Grace at aquafoundation.org or aquafoundation.org, our website. Thank you so much for having me this evening. It's been a true pleasure. Thank you so much.
Grace, a pleasure meeting you tonight, and thank you for being with Queer News Tonight. Well, we're going to end tonight's broadcast with the big finish, and that is today's silly or news that entertains the LGBTQ community. First up in the big finish, have you heard? Members are quitting the sad, dark Mar-a-Lago private membership club because Trump is a loser.
That's straight into the point there, Al. People are like, we don't want to pay $200,000 to be here. It's sad. They're saying that everybody's like hunched over and like 104. Is that true?
Apparently.
Well, they're talking about Donald Trump sitting in the ballroom.
Oh.
What they're talking about. And apparently they don't like the banners flying back and forth, back and forth.
Well, remind me what the banner says.
The banner says Donald Trump is the worst president in history. On Saturday, it flew for 6 hours.
Not to mention the number of Secret Service agents and the media, and people are just waiting to get a glimpse of him. So I can't imagine it being a great experience.
It's sad, dark. Can you see the tear coming down my cheek? All right, in the big finish, a hate group leader, Tony Perkins, remember him? Well, he's telling his followers to buy pillows to save Christianity. Mike Lindell, you're in trouble, Mike. You're in trouble. He's been scrubbed from lots of social media now for his hate speech. And Perkins says, save him by buying my pillows.
And he got dropped by Bed Bath & Beyond and somewhere else too, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he is not having a good week. I almost bought that pillow because of a sex injury. Thank goodness I did not. Oh my goodness.
A sex injury?
I can't even stand to look at that guy's face. Yeah, sex injury. Why you gotta ask me like that? Yeah.
Oh, you crazy girls.
Maybe they need to pick up Ivanka as a spokesperson.
Yeah, right.
I think she needs a job.
Yeah. You know, I told my friends this story. I watched Fox News last week. Occasionally do it because I like to know what their crazy is. He was like 1 out of every 3 commercials on Fox News in the evening. Hannity, Tucker Carlson, Laura Ingraham. It was a My Pillow commercial, 3 commercials, then a My Pillow Top commercial, and it just went on and on and on.
I'm sure they're giving him free ad
CNN or
space.
MSNBC, by the way. In the big finish, Ireland's gay former prime minister recalls bringing his partner to that infamous meeting with Mike Pence, and he talks about what he felt like.
And his wife didn't go, right? She unexpectedly had like a migraine
Mike
or something.
Pence's
And
wife,
Karen,
Yeah,
Karen.
she was teaching at the homophobic school in Alexandria, so she couldn't get away.
Got it.
In the anti-LGBT class that she was teaching.
Got it. I love that he brought his partner. I live for that.
And he's so cute.
And he is so cute.
Yeah.
The moment is really interesting if you read his remarks, because he did not say that he was bringing his husband to the meeting. So the expression when he walks in with his married husband with Mike Pence, priceless.
Yeah.
Let me be the first to say, Mike Pence, you're not ever going to be president of the United States.
No.
Don't even.
Not at all. I think he's homeless right now, right? Like, what's he doing right now? Like couch surfing somewhere?
Whatever.
At Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah,
That
at
is-
Mar-a-Lago. There's lots of space.
Go right there. That is today's news for the LGBTQ community on the world's first and only daily LGBTQ evening news show. Is our community important to you?
Then help us by liking and subscribing, ring the bell for updates, share this news. We're the only television live video news that is out of the closet and into the headlines. So we need your support.
I'm your anchor, Al Ferguson, and on behalf of anchors Faye and Cal Gajraj, we will see you daily and tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Good night, America.
Good night.